This is Under the Radar, where each week we look at different NBA players and teams from each conference, and we go over all the good and the bad. I leave for 1 week, and we have players putting each other in chokeholds. Anyway, week 5 was really crazy. We got a lot to get into. Let's go. My first player has shoehorned himself into the conversation for top 3 in his position. I'm looking at Tyrese Halliburton. First of all, this dude averages 25 points and 12 assists a game. That's what he averages. That's so much. It looks like he's averaging that playing for both teams. When we look at his last 5 games, there is nothing short of awesome. This dude went ballistic. First of all, against Philly, he had 33 points, 15 assists. Versus Orlando, he had 12 points, 3 assists. Against Atlanta, he had 37 points, 16 assists. Versus Toronto, he had 33 points, 16 assists again. And then against Detroit, he had 26 points, 10 assists. They've won 3 of their last 5 games and are 9-6 for the season. He's been so consistent, and I love the pieces around him. I'm super happy for Obi Toppin. This looks like a much better fit for him. Indiana's got a lot of good stuff happening. My next player from the West, Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram has had a lot of health issues, but when he's healthy, he's incredible. When he's on fire, he reminds me of Kevin Durant sometimes because he's really slim, can score from almost anywhere. Really great player. New Orleans has been struggling as a whole. They've had a lot of players coming in and out of their lineup, but even with all of that, Brandon Ingram has been doing amazing these last few games. He's had 30 or more points in 3 of their last 5 games. They've also won 3 of their last 5 games, and he's been averaging 5 rebounds and 5 assists for the season. Now, allegedly, Zion was pretty upset because he wanted to be the #1 option for the team. But even when he's miraculously on the court, I still think it should all run through Brandon Ingram just because he can score from anywhere on the court and he's a really good passer. Now, again, he's doing all of this with all the constant changes and health issues the team's been having. But over time, as everybody starts to come back in, they might find themselves in a better picture in the Western Conference. For the West, I have 2 disappointments. One of them is not necessarily a team, it's a player. Josh Giddey. Now, Josh Giddey's average has been 15, 16, 17. And when it comes to his NBA career, he's averaging 12 points a game. My real disappointment is the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs have lost 11 straight games. Now they have a worse record than the Memphis Grizzlies. One more time, they have lost 11 straight games and their record is worse than the Memphis Grizzlies. What is going on over there? Are they waiting for Kawhi to come back? Maybe Tony Parker, Tim Duncan? Is Wemby still on the team? Yep, yeah, no, Wemby is still on the team. Now look, was I expecting them to be great this season? No. Was I expecting Wemby to turn things around for the franchise? No. But 11 straight losses? Dude, the Spurs have the 2nd worst defense, one of the worst offenses, and are bottom 10 for rebounds. You can't have all of those things. There is a lot of season left. Anything can happen, but the Spurs need work today. My disappointing team for the East is the Cleveland Cavs. Now, the Cavs aren't doing bad, and I know they've had a lot of injuries, but I just expected more. My issue is they've kept a lot of the same pieces, and I've been adding slowly to it. This team has one of the highest ceilings in the entire conference. I mean, dude, you have Strus, Mitchell, LeVert, Allen, Mobley, Garland, just to name a few. I mean, all that talent and you're 8-8 for the season, fighting for a 9th seed in the East? I just expected more. I had them at a top 5 team for the season, and there's a lot of time left, so maybe they'll turn it around and be that. But as of right now, I'm just a little disappointed. All right, now my team for the East. Boy, I've been waiting years for this one. The Orlando Magic. Now look, I'm not a huge Orlando Magic fan. I'll drop my gum. I'm not a huge Orlando Magic. Oh my gosh, this keeps slipping. No, I'm not a huge Orlando Magic fan. I watch the game from time to time, but, you know, it's nothing crazy. Is it getting hot in here? I have been waiting strategically and very patiently to talk about the Orlando Magic because they are here. They deserve to be feared. They deserve to be respected. They run the entire NBA, and that's just putting it lightly. I knew this was going to be the year. If anybody knows me, they know I didn't say last year was the year. I didn't say that the year before. This was the first year where I said, this is going to be their year. If, for some reason, you're either a hater or just have not been paying attention, let me catch you up to speed on what O-Town has been up to. They are on a 6-game win streak with an 11-5 record, tied for the #2 seed in the East. We beat Milwaukee, Chicago, Indiana, Toronto, Denver, Boston. Our defense is top 3 in the league, and we've been winning all these games with 2 of our 5 starters out. And these guys aren't beating scrubs, okay? They're beating some of the top teams in the entire league. This team has depth. Yes, Paolo is amazing, but we have Mo and Franz doing crazy stuff as the brother duo. We have Cole Anthony coming off the bench, always lighting it up. We have Jonathan Isaac coming off the bench as a defensive ace up our sleeve. We have so much talent, and we're still not done yet. If you have not been watching this team play, you need to start. They are so much fun to watch, and they play with such a chip on their shoulder. It is must-see TV. Now look, I am a huge fan of this team, but I'm also very realistic. So if I were to give realistic predictions for this season, I'd say they're probably going to go 73 wins and then 4-0 in the finals to win it all. Now that I got that off my chest, my team for the West is the Phoenix Suns. Now, this team has been an absolute roller coaster. We are still yet to see the big 3 truly play together. I don't know if KD remembers the last time we tried to go big 3, but maybe he forgot. Jokes aside, huge kudos to KD. He's been one of the most consistent pieces for that team. It really doesn't matter who's been hurt, who's been playing, who has not been playing. He's just been going out there and balling. Honestly, the sleeper for this team has been Frank Vogel. When you look at this team on paper, you would laugh hysterically thinking about defense. But they've kind of been in the middle of the pack for defense, which is more than enough when you look at their potential on the offensive side. They are on a 6-game win streak and are tied for the 3rd best record in the West, and they still have not had everybody playing together. So once they do, they're going to be a pretty serious threat. Anyway, what I missed, who am I sleeping on? Let me know in the comments or wherever you feel like it. I'm Jay, this is Under the Radar, and I will actually be back next week.